Okay, so today we're tackling something pretty practical and I think pretty important.
Mm-hmm.
We're going deep on part 2, daily habits to feel less L.
Okay.
And what I love about this source is that
Yeah.
it kind of just skips the vague advice and it gets right into the actionable steps that anyone can take.
I think that's a great approach.
Yeah.
I like that. So it's what's interesting to me is how this source challenges some of our assumptions about connection in the digital age.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like take the idea of offline time.
Right.
It seems so counterintuitive that less screen time could actually help us feel more connected.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like
It's like the opposite of what we're told.
we're constantly told to be more online to stay connected.
Be more online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this source is saying that carving out intentional time away from our devices is crucial.
Yes.
So to be clear, we're talking about any activity that doesn't involve screens.
Yeah.
Like reading a physical book,
Right.
going for a walk,
Right.
having a face-to-face conversation.
Yeah, and there's a growing body of research to support this idea. Studies have shown that spending excessive time on social media can trigger social comparison
Oh, yeah.
and feelings of inadequacy.
For sure.
We're bombarded with these curated versions of people's lives, and it's easy to start feeling like we don't measure up.
It's like that saying, comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah, exactly.
And this source even suggests that this constant scrolling can actually create a sort of feedback loop where we feel more isolated, so we seek out more social media, and the cycle continues.
Right, you get stuck in it.
Yeah.
So the key is to break that cycle by intentional disconnecting. Even just an hour a day, like the source suggests, can make a difference.
So like putting your phone away for an hour each evening?
Yeah.
Like what could you do with that reclaimed time?
Exactly. What could you do?
It really makes you stop and think.
Yeah.
And speaking of shifting our focus outward,
Okay.
the next tip is about the power of public spaces.
Okay.
The source argues that simply being around other people, even in a passive way, can help combat loneliness.
Absolutely. This taps into our fundamental human need for belonging.
Yeah.
We're wired for connection, and even just being in the presence of others can trigger those feelings of comfort and safety.
Yeah.
Think about how you feel in a crowded coffee shop versus an empty one.
Oh, yeah.
There's a different energy, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
For me, just the background hum of activity and conversation can be surprisingly comforting. I actually find myself getting more work done
Oh, wow.
when I'm in a coffee shop,
Yeah.
even though there are more distractions.
That's interesting.
It's like my brain knows I'm not alone.
Yeah.
So it can relax a bit.
It's like a sense of security almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the energy of the space.
Right.
Even small interactions,
Right.
like exchanging smiles or greetings,
Yes.
can have a ripple effect.
Totally they do.
Yeah.
These micro connections remind us that we're part of a larger social fabric.
Okay, now let's talk about something I think a lot of people struggle with.
Okay.
Self-esteem.
Yeah.
The source emphasizes the link between self-esteem and loneliness,
Oh, that's fascinating.
which I found really interesting.
It's a crucial connection.
Yeah.
When we feel good about ourselves,
Wow.
we're more likely to reach out, initiate conversations,
Right.
and build relationships.
Yeah.
But when our self-esteem is low, it's easy to withdraw and isolate ourselves.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And the source suggests a very specific tool for boosting self-esteem,
Okay.
keeping a win journal.
A win journal.
Basically, you write down a few small victories each day, anything that made you feel good or proud. I was a bit skeptical at first,
Yeah.
but there's actually research showing that gratitude journaling can have a positive impact
Yeah.
on self-esteem and overall well-being.
It's a form of positive reinforcement. By focusing on our accomplishments, no matter how small,
Right.
we're training our brains to recognize our strengths and value.
So what do you think about that?
I
Do you have any personal experience with gratitude journaling?
do, actually.
Yeah.
I found it to be a really powerful practice. It's so easy to get caught up in the negative,
Yeah.
but when you intentionally shift your focus to the positive,
Right.
it can change your whole outlook.
Yeah.
It's not about denying challenges,
I know.
but about creating a more balanced perspective.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to the next tip.
Okay.
Exploring new hobbies.
Oh, fun.
I'm a big believer in this one.
Yeah.
I think finding activities you enjoy regardless of whether they involve other people,
Right.
and be a huge boost for your mood and overall well-being.
Absolutely. And what's fascinating is that hobbies can serve as a bridge to connection.
Oh, yeah.
Shared interests are a natural foundation for building relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. When you meet someone who loves the same obscure band you do,
Yeah.
there's an instant spark of connection.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to become an expert to reap the benefits.
Right.
This source encourages dedicating just 30 minutes a day to a hobby you're curious about.
30 minutes?
It could be anything.
Yeah.
Painting, playing an instrument,
Yeah.
learning a new language,
Yeah.
trying a new sport.
That small commitment can lead to surprising changes over time.
Yeah, I bet.
Not only might you discover a hidden passion, but you might also stumble upon a community of like-minded people who enrich your life in unexpected ways.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
And finally, let's talk about something that's often overlooked when it comes to loneliness. Self-kindness.
Self-kindness.
It's so easy to be our own worst critics,
Oh, yeah.
especially when we're feeling isolated.
Totally. When loneliness takes hold, negative self-talk can become a constant companion.
Right.
We start to believe we're not worthy of connection, which further pushes us into isolation, like a vicious cycle.
Right. And this is where the source offers a really powerful antidote.
Okay, what's that?
Daily affirmations.
Ah.
They specifically recommend repeating the phrase,
Yeah.
I am worthy of love and connection. It might feel a bit strange at first,
Yeah, I can see that.
but consciously choosing to affirm your worth,
Yeah.
even if you don't fully believe it yet,
Uh-huh.
can start to shift those negative thought patterns.
It's like planting a seed
Yeah.
of self-compassion that can grow over time.
Right.
And as you cultivate self-compassion, you create space for genuine connection with others.
So to recap,
Okay.
we've explored some practical evidence-based strategies for combating loneliness.
Yeah.
From intentional offline time to the power of public spaces,
Right.
from boosting self-esteem to
Oh.
cultivating self-kindness.
So many good tips.
And the key takeaway is that these small,
Yeah.
consistent actions can have a profound impact on how you feel
Absolutely.
and how you connect with the world around you.
I completely agree.
We've covered a lot today.
Yeah, we have.
But before we go,
Okay.
I want to leave you with a question. What's one action from this list
Okay.
that resonates with you? What's one small step
Yeah.
you can take today to move towards a greater sense of connection?
I love that.
Remember, even the smallest effort can make a difference.
It really can.
And you are absolutely worthy of that connection.
Yes, you are.
Thanks for joining us,
Thanks for having me.
and we'll see you next time.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.